Welcome back. You are watching PwC, The Winning Leap, taking the discussion on accelerating digital and technology impact in India forward. I have with me Balaji Narayanaswamy, EVP-Analytics Head with Axis Bank. Sudipta Ghosh is Leader, Data and Analytics with PwC India. Gentlemen, thank you both very much for being here. Strategic decisions, are they based on data analytics, or you think it's still mostly gut feel?
Prashant, the short answer is it is both. The way I see it, any decision is a mix of both the science part as well as the judgment part. It's only a matter of the extent.
You agree with that, Sudipta?
Yeah, so what we did was that we also wanted to do a bit of a research on how people take decisions, and we interviewed CEOs and CXOs across the world. We got some interesting results. So what people told that 53% of the CXOs actually take decisions based on data and analytics, and the rest of 47% don't. But then we also asked them a question that is the status today. What would change in 3 to 5 years time from now? Almost 90% of the CXOs said that they would like to take decisions based on data and analytics, 90% of them using data and analytics for their strategic decisions. Timeliness of information is very important for them. That is one. Second is the ability to understand the information which is being given to you. So it's not that CEOs are not getting reports or dashboards and all that, but there is a difference between having all that report and being able to assimilate and understand that better to take the decision. That is the second point. The third point also comes in from the fact that what is the quality of information which is being given in terms of the accuracy and the speed. So that's the third aspect of it. More importantly, it is also the fact that as organizations are maturing and they are getting more competitive in the future, the ability for a human being to take a lot of decisions in a short span of time is a little limiting, and that's why most of the CXOs are saying that I may not always be able to trust my gut feel because I can go wrong. If I have an ability to look at the data and then take a decision, then I'll be more assured.
Are there challenges, Balaji, kind of which prevent organizations from using data analytics effectively?
See, in my experience, the two main challenges I have seen are culture and talent. See, right now there are no companies that are saying that I don't want to use data analytics. Everyone has embraced it. It's just a matter of how well you practice it. When I see the companies that do well versus the companies that practices, the differentiator is culture. The other part is talent. Whether you get the right talented set of people to drive the analytics, that determines how well you're able to do it. And to some extent, culture and talent feed off of each other.
When you are talking about analytics, we are also talking about a breed of professionals who we call as data scientists. And when we talk about data scientists, they need three types of skills primarily. One is that they need to have a good understanding of the tools and the technology. The second skill is that they need to have a good understanding of the data because you are doing data analytics. And the third important thing is for them to understand the business issues and challenges, because you are not just doing data analytics for the fun of it, you are doing it because you want to drive business benefits. And in order to have all the three skills in one person can become a bit of a challenge.
What kind of trends do you see? I mean, if you can come in, Balaji, in terms of how this will evolve, data analytics, especially in the context of financial services and banking industry?
See, looking at the banking context, one trend I see is breadth of usage. So traditionally, analytics in banks who are lenders have been used in the area of risk management, whom can I approve, whom can I decline, early warning signals and so on, and to some extent in cross-selling to existing customers. The big trend we see now is it's expanding rapidly into other functions like HR, soft functions like HR, areas like IT, how do you do predictive server maintenance, areas like HR, where can I recruit the right talent from, which campuses are giving me the right kind of profiles, areas like operations, how much cash should I leave in ATM, am I leaving more cash, less cash, how much cash should be sitting in my branch vault. All those kinds of decisions outside of risk and marketing are now getting increasingly driven by analytics, becoming truly enterprise-wide. That's number one trend I see. The second big trend that I see is it's getting very technical. It's a very technical area. So as an analytics function in a bank, one needs to know as much about the technology aspects of it as you would if you were in TCS or Infosys or for that matter in Google and Facebook.
What kind of trends are you seeing in terms of adoption of these programs, digital analytics, data analytics? What are you seeing?
When we are looking at adoption, the key important thing is to drive benefits. And when you are trying to drive benefits in the organization, it has to be very tangible in terms of what's the return on investment you are getting. So, for example, if there is in an oil and gas environment, if you have submersible pumps, you have sensors which are there in those pumps, and you get the data from those sensors and look at the health of that particular pump. And if you have a predictive algorithm which you can use using artificial intelligence or machine learning, which can tell you exactly when a pump is going to fail, then you can take some predictive maintenance, preventive maintenance action before the event actually happens, right? And that's where you are significantly adding to the value from a cost perspective, right? And that's when analytics gets adopted in the front line of the business. The other places where we have seen a lot of work is the process automation part of it, right? So, for example, there are many back office operations, including banking and other industries, where you do a lot of paperwork. Where analytics comes into being is to look at all the data which is coming in and then suggest improvements in the process itself. So you can find a lot of, and we call that as process mining or process analytics, where you look at the whole process, you look at all the places where the data is getting captured, and then you suggest improvements where you can take out the redundant processes which you are anyways doing, and that can give up to 60% improvement.
Balaji, and this is important, right? At the end of the day, organizations are run by people, and they have to kind of adopt all of this data analytics, etc. What kind of structures do you need to put in place to be able to embrace this and use this very effectively?
Yeah, see, in our organization, data and analytics is a separate department, and I head the department. In that sense, it reports into the CFO office, so it's centrally located with respect to either a retail bank, a lending business, or a deposits business. So we work with all these businesses, but from within a different vertical. Now, in order to ensure alignment between my team and the business teams that are going to consume the analytics, I've organized the teams under the various businesses that I support. The second thing we do is try to do is even co-location. So to the extent possible, a lot of the teams are actually sitting in the same floor. The deposits team, analytics teams is the same for the deposit business team. So
it's not as if they're sitting in another place and send a monthly report or something. I mean, it's essentially integrated.
People sitting in the same floor, walking across to each other's desks and interacting, and it creates good learning and good interaction between the two teams. The last thing I try to do to ensure the alignment is in terms of your KRAs or performance goals definition. I try to ensure that my team takes on, to the extent possible, the business goals as well. So through a combination of these tools, we try to create the alignment.
You think this would be an extremely important structure to put in place?
Absolutely. And I will just also add to it, because we are seeing a lot of millennials coming into the teams. We need to use different ways to keep them motivated. Where I've seen most organizations succeed is where they have a hub and spoke model, where you have a central team which can be a repository or center of excellence, and then you also have those spokes which go into the individual businesses, and they effectively can champion the cause within that business for that specific function to drive change management and adoption, and that works very well in many organizations.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for a very interesting conversation. Sudipta, Balaji, appreciate you joining in. That's all we have on the show today. Join me next week for another interesting discussion on PwC Presents The Winning Leap in association with CNBC TV 18. Thank you very much for watching. Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, Ma, don't worry. I'm driving on the new expressway and it's absolutely safe.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.